aggregates that different biology have released, but also to some extent the dead biology itself. So it's literally glued together. And that's what, because those aggregates don't fit neatly together, that's what gives us our pore spaces. Those gaps in between all of these aggregates that allow the air and the water infiltration. Like I said before, a really well structured healthy soil could be up to 50% pore space. That's a lot of pore spaces. So you would need a lot of those kind of big aggregates. Those ones we just handed around are big aggregates. They can be a lot smaller than that. And in a cultivated soil, all of those aggregates have been broken down. So you can start with that's a well aggregated soil. You could start with that and hit it with the offsets and the rotary hoe and the moldboard plough and turn it into dust pretty quickly. And what you've done is you've just smashed all of those aggregates. You've smashed them to smithereens. And now instead of having aggregates, which has room for pore spaces, all you've got is the sand, silt and the clay, particles. So that's what cultivation does, is it just smashes all of those aggregates into finer and finer pieces depending on how much cultivation and how much energy you apply, and allow those sand, silt and clay particles to fit closer and closer and closer and closer and closer together to form a compacted mass that no longer allows air or water infiltration. For a big question like this, but I guess controlled traffic, so whereby your tractors are on set wheel spacings and GPS controlled, so they're running in the same wheel track all the time. That's what the sugar industry has done and the grains industry have done that's as far as they've got to address compaction.